welcome everyone to the First Generation Student Success Podcast. I am your host, Raquel Bartoli, and today we have another phenomenal guest on the show that works and serves first generation students. And so I want to welcome Leandra to the show. Welcome, Leandra.
Thank you for having me.
Yay, and thank you for being on. Leandra is with the Western Oklahoma State College Upward Bound program, and she is an academic coordinator. So, Leandra, thank you again for being on the show. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about what you do as an academic coordinator?
So what I do as an academic coordinator, throughout the school year, I am in charge of getting information out to the students. So every week I make sure they have a newsletter that lets them know different upcoming dates, when their report cards are due, different things that we have going on campus that we would like for them to do as well. Along with the newsletter, I also have a weekly journal entry that they do. So the journal entry can be anywhere from them telling us just different things about themselves so that we can learn more about them. Or one year I did a series where they learned how to balance a checkbook and how to write a check. Some of them they have to do research on different colleges that they are looking into going into. And then also we make our juniors and seniors throughout their high school years, those 2 years, they go through and they apply for different scholarships. And so I'm on the academic side of all of that, and I just try to keep our kids. We try to make them more independent and not to rely on someone to do the work for them. So
I like that. Even though you're wearing the title as academic coordinator, you're also focusing on a lot of important life skills that students are developing while they're in high school with you. So not only is it just, knowing reading, math, and science, but knowing how to balance a checkbook, knowing about reflection, getting ready for scholarships and preparing them for college. So it's not just getting the letter grade, but preparing them in all areas, which is pretty cool.
oh yeah.
And I like the newsletter. So that kind of keeps them up to date on what's going on and what they have to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So a little bumblebee told me, came just like buzzing in my ear, and this bumblebee told me, right, and I'm not going to tell you the name of the bumblebee, but this bumblebee told me that Western Oklahoma State College's Upward Bound program is hands down the best Upward Bound program out there. Can you confirm the accuracy of what this bumblebee told me?
I can very much confirm that. I actually didn't know, because I worked on the other side of Upward Bound, where I was a counselor while I was in college during the summer. So I saw that side of it. I didn't realize what it all entailed. I didn't realize the students that they served until I actually got this job and I got to see the other side of things. And I can say that this program here at Western Oklahoma State College is very good. I would not trade it for the world. My coworkers make it so easy to work with. We get along great, and it's a really good program. And I think a lot of people don't realize what it does for the students in our area.
Definitely. And I think what you said, which is pretty awesome, is not only do you love the work that you're getting to do, but it's followed up with colleagues that just make it even better. Like that's the icing on the cake.
Oh, yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit more about the population of students that you serve?
So the crazy thing is I am first generation. I would have also been low income as well because my grandmother raised me. And so a lot of the kids that we serve are generally first generation, low income, and high academics. And what the high academic is that they need help academically. And a lot of our schools are in rural area as well. And so a lot of the kids that we serve have the same background that I had, where they may not be living with their birth parents. They may be living with a family member. They may be adopted because of different circumstances. And of times we, well, me and my coworkers, we're probably the most sane person in that kid's life. I joke about it a lot, but a lot of times the kids will come to us because they feel like that they can talk to us about things, or that someone may not understand what they're going through because we may have gone through some of the similar things that they do. So.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. So what I'm getting from that is that transparency. I'm pretty sure you've shared with your students the fact that your grandparents raised you. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So that opens up the door to let them know that, you know, your life wasn't easy, you struggled, but you did it, and they have you as a role model to look up to.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. And I guess it's like a family, right? Because if things aren't stable at home, they know one thing that is stable is upward bound, what's going to happen, the expectation. So they do have something stable to look forward to.
Oh, most definitely. Because when I first started this job, I'm going into my fifth summer here. And when I first started, quite a few of the kids had made the comment that they had had a number of different academic coordinators, they'd had a number of different information specialists, and they never had anyone that was consistently here. And
Mm.
so that they didn't like it. So I made a post on our Facebook page as a joke, and in the joke it said that I was moving. Well, a lot of the kids did not like that. So I got phone calls after I made that post, and I was like, nope,
Wow.
I'm just playing. I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, they are loving the consistency with the staff that we've had. Me and Kenny both have been here going into our fifth summer, and
Wow.
Kimberly, um, our other coworker, she just started during the school year in 2019, and she is going into her first summer with us.
Awesome. So it is important for students to have some stability in their life. And if they don't have it at home, at least they have you and Kenny. I don't know what you and Kenny are going to do. If you ever get a promotion or you got to go somewhere else, you're going to have some really upset students. But that's good to know that they have you and that they can rely on a program that's stable. So
Oh
thank you
yeah.
for sharing that. And so, Leandra, how did you end up working with students? How did you get on this path?
Um, when I originally was going to college, I was on a basketball scholarship, and I originally was going to go into nursing, but because basketball was paying for my education at the time, different circumstances, so I had to end up changing my major. So I decided that I would go into coaching, and so I did that route. Um, After I graduated with my bachelor's, I stayed with the basketball program that I was at for 2 years and worked on my master's, and then I started coaching basketball after that. And I did that for 4.5 years. So after that 4.5 years, for about 6 months, I worked in a call center, and I was like, this is not for me. I've got to get back to the education side of things. And a friend of mine had mentioned to me that they were looking for an academic coordinator with the Upward Bound program, because he knew that I had mentioned that I did work with Upward Bound a little bit during the summer as their counselor.
Okay.
So that's how I got routed into Trio. And ever since then, I can say it's not something that I regret. I absolutely love this program, and I love working with these kids.
Awesome. And I can tell because they expect you to be there and you're not going anywhere. You
So,
can't even crack jokes about leaving.
no, not at all.
And so, what do you believe is at least one best practice when it comes to working with students in general, but especially first generation students? Like, what is that one tip or suggestion that you would give to maybe a new colleague coming in that would really help them when it comes to working with this population of students?
So there's two things that I would give. One of the biggest things that I have learned that we have to have with this population of students is patience. When I first started, there was sometimes where, because I'm so driven
Mm,
and independent and wanting to do it on my own, a lot of these kids, it's not that they don't want to do it on their own, but they need a little push, and I've had to learn patience with them. And also another thing that I would say is just reminding them constantly of, hey, you need to get this turned in. Hey, did you do this? Or hey, how are you doing with your classes and different things like that? Because I don't think they don't hear a lot of positive reinforcement from outside of us. So I think it's very important that we give them that positive reinforcement that they need.
Mm, definitely. Like you said, if they're not getting it at home, they're probably not getting it at all. And so you give them the accountability that they need by checking in with them and hoping that it translates into like them being independent and not having to, at least the hope is that by the time they get to senior year, they've got most of this. But even then, you got to still hold their hands and push them and encourage them along the way. That's
Oh yeah.
awesome. And so my next question is, when it comes to our current situation right now, dealing with the pandemic, is there anything that's keeping you up at night when it comes to your job, to the students, and to the way that things are currently going on?
There are some things. One of the biggest things is, so like now that our kids are at home almost, well, 24/7, they don't get that break from home to where they can be with their friends or they can have the everyday schedule that they normally have if they were in school. And I guess it would be not getting the attention that they need from their
Mm,
parents since they're there more. That and then just trying to keep them engaged, especially with just doing virtual. Because some of the kids have expressed, and I'm like, I don't like virtual. Trust me, I'm right there with you. I would much
yeah,
rather see y'all face to face as opposed to it being virtual. But this is what we have to do, and so just trying to help them navigate. Hey, go click on the link. It'll pull up. It'll walk you through what you need to do. So
mm-hmm,
that's been one of the biggest challenges. Is just trying to help them navigate how to get on Zoom, and if it doesn't work, get out, get back in, just different things like that.
definitely. And have you seen some progress being made as far as their attitude towards the whole online platform? Are they feeling a little bit better? Are they still in that space of not wanting to engage virtually?
I think they're still in that space of not wanting to engage virtually, but I also think that this is teaching them something as far as the face to face goes. Because
Mm,
if you think about it in the world today, it's this. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's texting, and it's not as much face to face as it used to be. So I think now that that has been taken away, they see, oh, I do miss my friends. I do want to see my friends in person. I miss my teachers. I want to see my teachers in person. So I think it has given them a different perspective as far as having that actual face to face and being able to go see people and not just through a computer screen.
true. And I didn't even think of that, but it is true because we take for granted, when things were normal, we are always using our devices and texting each other and really getting that face to face time. And now that it's taken away, we realize that it's something that we really value and need. So hopefully coming out of this, we continue to yearn for that and understand how important that is. So that is definitely a lesson. And so now, if I were to meet some of your students, what is one thing you think that they would say that they absolutely love about you, adore about you? Like if I said it, they're like, yeah, that's Leandra. What do you think that would be for your students?
The biggest, I think they would say that I care. And it's because I'm always checking in with them. Like I have so with my kids on Facebook Messenger, I group them by classes just because it's a lot easier if I have to send out information to 15 kids, I could just do it at once. And
Mm-hmm.
so I actually have groups from my past years of my upper bound students, and every so often I'll just check in with them just to see how classes are going, if they're still in college, different things like that. So I think the biggest thing they would say is that they feel like I care.
Awesome. And I can tell from when I met you, I can tell you're still there, that you definitely have a heart that cares and you want to serve, and your students pick up on that. And that is definitely something that we don't forget when we meet somebody comes into our life and they care about us. They're not just there because they want to collect a paycheck, but they actually care about, our well-being. So I'm pretty sure your students definitely feel that. And so to wrap everything up, what is one thing that you can share, whether it be a word of encouragement to any professional that watches this video, any student, anyone that's thinking about coming into the education field, what is that one little nugget of wisdom that you would like to share with all of us before we leave?
I would share that whenever you feel like you are alone, no matter what it is that you are going through when it comes to life, work, friends, family, you are not alone. There's always someone out there that's possibly going through something similar. They may have gone through it already, so don't ever feel like you're alone.
Absolutely. And I think that's something we have to echo to our students multiple times, along with everything else. But we always have to remind them that you're not alone. There's support. You just got to reach out, say something. You know, what you're going through, someone has gone through it, and you have a team of people that care about you. So awesome, Leandra. You are just phenomenal. So thank you for taking time out of your day. I see that you're back in the office, quarantining, doing all that good stuff. Does it feel good to be back in the office for a little bit?
Honestly, it does. I'm not gonna, like, I feel like I can get 10 times more things done in my office than I can at home.
Those are absolute facts. Facts. I'm at home and I'm like, over here, it's snack time. Then one of my kids wants something, and then the other one has a teacher and needs to log into Zoom, and then the Wi-Fi went out. And it's just like, ah. So I totally agree with you. Well, Leandra, again, thank you so much for being on the First Generation Student Success Podcast. We appreciate everything that you're doing. Keep up the good work. Take care of yourself, and we hope to see you and connect with you again in the future.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.